Hello friends, on 29th May 2020, CBDT has notified ITRs for the assessment year 2020-21. And on 2nd June 2020, the ITR 1 has been made available online. So in this video, we will see that how you can prepare the ITR 1 online. So friends, I am CA Jaideep Patel and you are watching Sri Hari Tax Mentors. So let's go to the income tax site, that is Income Tax India efiling.gov.in. So in that one you have to select login and you have to log in into your account. So I'll log in into my account. So after login, if you see your dashboard, in that two links are there: filing of income tax return and view returns or forms. So in that one you have to see filing of income tax return. So once you click on that, you have to give some details, that is assessment year, the 2020-21, then ITR form, so that is ITR 1, then filing type is original or revised return, then submission mode is prepare and submit online. You can upload even XML also, but we are doing prepare and submit online. After that, if you see that, you can see that bank detail. In that you have to select the bank in which you want to get refund, then continue. So there will be there, consent will be there. You have to click on the tick button and you can continue. So then ITR 1 will be open. So friends, before going to that, once we'll see that for whom it will be applicable. So it will be applicable for the individual being a resident other than a not ordinary resident, having total income up to rupees 50 lakhs and having income from salary, one house property, interest income, family pension and agriculture income up to rupees 5,000, and not for an individual who is either a director in a company or has invested in unlisted equity shares or has any brought forward or carry forward losses under the head income from house property. So friends, if you see this one, it will be applicable for the individual who is the resident, and if your income is up to rupees 50 lakhs and from where it is getting, then if you are getting salary income or if you are having one house property, then if you are having income from other sources like interest income, family pension income, like that kind, then agriculture income is there, that is also only up to rupees 5,000. If you are having more than 5,000, then you are not eligible for this ITR. And if you are a director or if you have invested in any unlisted share, then also you are not eligible for this ITR. So in this one, first one is that part A, general information. So basically you have to give all your general information like your name, then Aadhaar number, then mobile number or email address, then your employment, then your employment related details like under whom you are working, central government, state government, public sector or others, or if you are pensioner, then that you have to select, or if you are getting any family pension or interest income, then you have to give not applicable. Then under which section you are filing the return. So it is there 139.1, then 139.4, 139.5, or 119.2 subsection B. So here we have to select on or before due date if you are filing before due date. Then very important amendment has been brought into this return. So details relating to that also we have to give in this return. So friends, if you are falling under any of this category, then you have to select on top yes, and after that you have to select yes or no. If you are selecting yes in the particular category, then you have to give amount for that particular category. So in that one, first one is that deposit in your current account in aggregate of rupees 1 crore or more during the year. So friends, if you have deposited in your current account during the whole year in aggregate of rupees 1 crore or more, then you have to select yes in that option and you have to give amount how much you have deposited in your current account. Then second one is that spending of aggregate amount of rupees 2 lakhs or more on the foreign travel during the year. So friends, if you have spent 2 lakhs or more in aggregate during the year for the foreign travel, then you have to select yes button and you have to give how much amount you have spent on the foreign travel. Then third one is that payment towards the electricity for the amount of rupees 1 lakh or more in aggregate during the year. So friends, if you have spent in aggregate of rupees 1 lakh or more during the year for the electricity, then you have to select yes and amount how much you have spent, that you have to give. Then if you are filing the revised return or defective return, then you have to give that receipt number of your original return and date of filing your original return. And if you got any notice and response to that, if you are filing, then you have to give UDN number of that notice and the date of such notice. Then if you can see that computation of income and tax. So friends, here you have to give details relating to all your income and deductions. So based on that, it will calculate your tax liability. So in this first one is that income from salary. So friends, if you are having income from salary and if your employer has filed his TDS return, then whatever the details of your form number 16 will be there, that will be auto populated over in this. But if it is not getting auto populated, then you have to give it manually. So in that one, first thing you can have is that salary detail. So whatever the salary is there, then perquisites are there, then if any profit in lieu of salary is there, so that detail you have to give it. So it will come under gross salary. Then next one is that allowance to the extent exempt under section 10. So friends, now since standard deduction they are giving, so they have withdrawn so many allowance. So most probably you will be having allowance like leave travel allowance or house rent allowance. Leave travel allowance is also for this government employee. So most popular allowance you will be getting is that house rent allowance. So all other allowance are there. They are most of them, if you see, that are relating to the government employee. Then if you see that deduction under section 16. So if you are having any deduction, that is standard deduction is there, then entertainment allowance. Again, this allowance is also there for the government employee. Then if you have contributed for the professional tax, so that allowance you will be getting, and net whatever the salary income will be there, that will be showing here. Then if you see B2, that is for income from house property. So friends, if you are having one house property and if you are using it for yourself or if you are using it for rent purpose, then that details you have to give it here. So in that one you will be seeing first is type of house property. So basically it is divided into three types. One is self-occupied, one is let out, and one other one is deemed let out. In that self-occupied means if you are using house property for yourself. Then let out means if you have given it for rent. And last one is that deemed let out. Means if you have more than one house property and if you have not given it for rent, then as per tax law, one property will be considered as self-occupied and other property will be considered as deemed let out. That means even though you are not earning any rent out of it, still it will be deemed that you have received rent which is applicable in the market as per municipality. So based on this, you have to select whichever is applicable for you. Then in first column, you have to give whatever the gross rent you have received, or if it is deemed let out, then what is the market value that you have to give. Then in second column, you have to give tax paid to local authorities. So if you have paid any municipality tax or any cess, whatever the cess it is charged by local authority, that details you have to give it here. So in third one, it will be calculated like annual value. So gross rent minus whatever the tax you have paid. Then as per section 24, you will be getting standard deduction of 30% on annual rent. So that will be calculated over here. Then you will be getting deduction for whatever the interest you have paid on the loan which is taken for the construction or purchase of this house property. So that deduction also you will be getting, and that amount you have to give it in the column number 5. Then last one is that arrears or unrealized rent received during the year less 30%. Friends, if you have received outstanding rent of earlier year during the year, then 70% of such amount you have to give in this column. So by this way you will be computing your income from the house property. Then if you see not after house property, that is maximum loss from house property that can be sort of is rupees 2 lakh. So friends, if you are having loss from your house property, so up to 2 lakhs you can be set off against your salary income or income from other source. And another one is that to avail the benefit of carry forward and set off of loss, please use ITR 2. So in case if your loss of 2 lakhs is not getting set off by your salary income or other income, then you have to file ITR 2 to get carry forward of that loss or set off of that loss. Then in B3, you have to give income from other sources. So in that you will be having drop down list, and from that you have to select income. So in that they have given 4 most popular income, that is interest from saving account, then interest from deposit, whatever the deposit is there. If you are receiving any interest from any deposit, then you have to select that one. Then interest from income tax refund, or family pension. So if you have income from any of these 4 items, then you have to select that and give the amount. Otherwise, you have to give any other, and what is that other, that you have to give it in description and you have to give amount. And in this there is add button also, so by using that you can add more than one income in this head also. In this there is deduction also, so that is deduction under section 57, which is available only for the family pension. So if you are eligible for this deduction, then you can give that amount over here. So by adding all the 3 head of income, there will be gross total income. Then if you see part C, in that you have to give details relating to deduction. So in that they are asking first question whether you have made any investment, deposit or payment between 1/4/2020 to 30th June 2020 for the purpose of claiming any deduction under part B of chapter 6A. So friends, department has given some relaxation for the investment, deposit or payment due to COVID for getting the deduction under chapter 6A till 30th June 2020. So friends, if you have made any investment or deposit or payment for the chapter 6A deduction from 1/4/2020 to 30th June 2020, then you have to select yes in this drop down. So in this basically you have to give details of section 80C, that is for life insurance, deferred annuity, contribution to provident fund, and subscription to certain equity. So friends, on section 80C we have made one video, so you can go through that video and you can make investment accordingly. Then 80 triple C is there, 80 CCD is there, then 80D is there, which is for health insurance. So friends, in this year they have introduced actually schedule relating to 80D also, so that also we will see in the further course. Then 80DD is there, 80DDB is there, 80E is there, which is useful for the interest on loan taken for higher education. Then 80EE is there, 80EA is there, 80EB is there. This is also interesting section, deduction in respect of purchase of electric vehicle. So that also you will be getting deduction under this section. Then 80G is there, which is useful for the donation to charitable fund. So for that also particular schedule is there in this written. So that also we will be discussing later. Then 80GG is there, 80GGA is there. So for that also one schedule is there, which we will be seeing. Then 80GGC is there, then 80TTA is there, which is interest on saving bank account. So friends, if you are having saving bank account, so you will be getting usually small amount of interest, so that interest you can give it here. Then 80TTB is there, that is for interest on deposit in case of resident senior citizen. So friends, in this 80TTB they have extended the limit to the senior citizen, so that if you are a senior citizen, then that amount you can give it here. Then 80U is there, that is for the person with disability. So you have to select the disability from this drop down, that is self with disability and self with several disability, so that you can select and all the total will be there. So total deduction amount will be coming over here. So by reducing your all the deduction from your gross total income, there will be the total income, which is total taxable income. So that amount will be coming over here. Then there is a schedule for exempt income also. So friends, if you are having any exempt income, then you have to give details regarding that over here. So if you see the drop down, that is agriculture income is that first. So if you are having agriculture income less than 5,000, then you have to give it here. And if you are having more than 5,000, then you have to select another ITR. Then so many other exempt income is there, which is exempt under section 10. So all those details, whichever is applicable for you, that you have to give it over here. So finally, based on information whichever you have given in schedule B and C, system will calculate your tax liability with interest and fees in the schedule D, which you can show it over here. Then next sheet is there for tax details. So friends, basically in this sheet you have to give details relating to your TDS, TCS and income tax. And for this schedule, first thing what you have to do is download your form number 26S, and based on that you can fill these details. But if you want to auto-populate these things, then you have to just simply press the refresh button and all the things will be auto-populated. And after auto-populating, you have to just compare with all the auto-populated things with your 26S, and if any mismatch is there, so you can add it manually by clicking on add button, which is given over here. So in this schedule, first table is for the details of TDS from salary. So friends, if your employer has deducted TDS from your salary, then such details will be shown over here. Then in second table, there is a detail for the TDS from income other than salary. So if you are having any other income and TDS is deducted on such income, then all those details you have to give it in this table. Then in third table, it is there for the details of TDS relating to rent. So friends, if you are having income from rent and your tenant has deducted the TDS on such rent, then all such details you have to give it over here. Then next table is there for the details of TCS. So friends, all the details relating to TCS will be shown over in this table. Then last table is there for the details of advance tax and self-assessment tax. So friends, during the year, all the advance tax, whatever you have paid, that details you have to give it in this table, and whatever the self-assessment tax you are paying while uploading your return, that also you have to give it here. Then next sheet is there for the taxes paid and verification. So based on the details given in your previous sheets, it will calculate your tax paid and tax payable, and based on that, if any refund is there, then it will be shown over here. And after that, you have to select account in which you want to get your refund, and then you have to do the verification by giving your father name, then capacity of filing, that is you are filing by yourself or as a representative, and place from where you are filing the return. And in last, you have to select how you want to verify your return, whether you want to e-verify now or within 120 days from filing, or you want to send it to CPC Bangalore. Then in next sheet, you have to give details of the investment. So friends, as we all know that we were having option to invest till 30th June 2020 to get deduction in the financial year 2019-20. But there may be the chance that you have invested till 30th June 2020 for the deduction for the financial year 2019-20 and for the financial year 2020-21. So bifurcating that amount, this schedule has been introduced. So here you have to give that out of the amount, whatever you have mentioned in the schedule C of that deduction, how much you have paid till 31st March 2020 and how much you have paid from the 1st April till 30th June 2020. So that basically that amount you have to give it over here. So this sheet is basically the bifurcation of the amount whatever you have given in the schedule C. Then next sheet is for the deduction under section 80D. So friends, this is also a new development taken in the ITR compared to the previous one. So this one was not there in the previous returns. So here you have to give details in the two part. First one is for you and your family excluding parents, and second one is for your parents. And in that you have to select whether you or your family member is senior citizen. If it is yes, then you have to select yes, otherwise no. So here you have to give details relating to health insurance, then preventive health checkup and medical expenditure which is not covered by health insurance. And after giving all the details, it will calculate by itself whether the amount is there in your eligible limit or not, and it will give you the eligible amount for deduction. Then next sheet is there for the deduction under section 80G. So friends, basically this schedule has been divided into 4 parts. So in that one, first one is that donation entitled for 100% deduction without qualifying limit. Then donation entitled for 50% deduction without qualifying limit. Then donation entitled for 100% deduction subject to qualifying limit. Then donation entitled for 50% deduction subject to qualifying limit. So friends, as per the provision of section 80G, you have to assess that the donation whatever you have given is fitting under which category, and according to that you have to give amount in that category, and in that you have to give details relating to the donee like name of donee, then its address, then city, state, then PAN of donee, and amount paid in cash and other amount. And based on that, it will calculate your eligible amount for the deduction under section 80G. And then last sheet is there for the details relating to deduction under section 80GA. So basically this section gives the deduction if you are donating for the scientific research or rural development. So in this you have to select from drop down where you have donated and details relating to donee, and based on that it will calculate amount eligible for the deduction. So friends, this is how you can prepare your return online, and if you are having any queries in this, then you can write it to our mail for which we will be giving the mail ID in the below description. So thank you very much for being with us, and if you have not subscribed our channel till now, then please subscribe it now itself, so that you will be getting regular update in the area of taxation. And if it is useful for you, then please press like button so that we will be getting motivated. And if it is useful for your friend also, then please share it with them also.